Let's talk phys ed with Jason and Tanner. Let's talk phys ed. Take it.
Yeah. So there is our new intro song. Judy LoBianco has volunteered not only to sponsor the show and give us our paid version of Zoom with her HPE Solutions company, but now she's volunteered to sing the intro for us. So we may in the future now have a new intro song, and super excited. We are back again. Let's talk phys ed with Jason and Tanner. I'm your host, Jason Steele. With me, as always, Tanner Roos. And Tanner, you've got to talk a little bit about what you have on today. What's the robe about?
So today's my birthday, and my 5-year-old daughter got me this bathrobe. It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Okay, everybody join in. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tanner. Happy birthday to you. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey.
Oh, thank you. I'm
never
going to wear this for about 10 more years. So every night, that's what I get to wear.
I love it. So other than your birthday, tell us what's going on.
We've been doing our HPE at home. This week, my school district decided to do some stuff about wheels. So we got out bike safety videos and roller skating and ripsticks and skateboard and scooter safety, and we did all those things at home. My kids watched the videos, they enjoyed it, they learned some rules of the road, and we went out and we tried some stuff. So that's kind of what we've been up to. How's it been going in Minot?
We're doing okay. It's been nice here so we can get outside. We've been doing a lot of schoolwork inside and then a lot of Phi-Ed related things outside. So I think I've played horse and pig with my daughter and my son probably 1,000 times. The neighbor lady's not real happy because the basketball is continuously going over the fence, but we're working on a solution for that. But we're joined today by some Shape America All-Stars, right? We've got Shape America President 2018-2019, because I'm not allowed apparently to say former past president, Judy LoBianco. You've met her, you know her. And current past president, Jamie Sparks. Jamie, how's it going for you today?
Good to be back, guys. Appreciate the invite, and always good to hang out with Judy as well.
Judy, how is it?
How is it? Well, I am in New Jersey, so things are a little anxious here. We're making it. It's going to be okay. We wake up every morning, take a deep breath, and listen to the guidelines and continue to practice what we know is best, and embrace our kids from a distance, our students from a distance, and keep doing what we're doing. But we appreciate the rest of the country just, thinking about us here in New Jersey and the New York area, and we're going to all get through it together. So we're hanging in there.
Yes, and we are all in this together, and we will get through it together. But definitely unprecedented how everything has shaped up and how everything's going right now with education and just life in general. First we want to say congratulations to Brett Fuller. He was named the new president of Shape America. And so round of applause for him. Some other people that we wanted to shout out right away. For those of you who don't know, there was also, we need to recognize Terry Drain as being voted in as the new president-elect. And then we want to recognize some board of directors members who were voted in Jan Adkins, Joe Bailey, and Jamie McMullen. So congratulations to them as well. So just to start off our show, we wanted to give a shout out to them, and I'm sure great things to come with that group.
Yeah, absolutely. So those election results were exciting. I was really looking forward to seeing that last week, and I know that our next couple of years are going to be in good shape. We've got some great leadership up there.
No pun intended. Good shape, right, Tanner?
That was not pun intended. So, I want to just get into it. As much as we all hated to see it happen, when we ended up canceling Shape SLC, it was absolutely the right thing to do. But with that said, kind of what are we thinking about the rest of 2020 as far as shape goes and beyond? Like, what do we know? What's shape plans? What do we know?
Go ahead, Jamie, I'll let you take it.
Sure. We had originally had, similar to what we did in Sioux Falls last year, we had a regional conference that was planned for August 3rd through the 5th coming up. And so originally when we were making the decisions around Salt Lake City, we were originally thinking some of the programmatic things could shift over to the Louisville event for the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion focused conference. But at this point, obviously, things have not opened up very much. So we have not officially pushed that back yet, but that is coming. It's in the works, obviously, just because of all the planning that needs to happen in the meantime. So we're still looking at a late 2020 date for that. So stay, following Shape America, and we'll make an announcement once we have the logistics and paperwork worked out, and working with the hotel and the visitor center there in Louisville as well. And then we're also currently working with all state executive directors, because states are in the same place. They're needing to move ahead with planning, and you don't just pull a conference off a few days out. You start 6-9 months ahead. So most states are dealing with the same issue, as far as, even though these events are in October and November for the majority of them, you're still having to do the planning things. And so we're helping to work with executive directors to talk about what that looks like, because there is still an unknown and uncertainty to when things will begin to, when we can gather again in person, right? And so I'm just making it to where we're all in this together, and just, that's the reality of the world we live in. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of flexibility right now.
Yeah, and I'll just add that the team at Shape America has ramped up their efforts in ways that we couldn't possibly imagine, offering the ability to amp up the professional learning institutes that we offer, and being able to be there to update resources daily around lessons that have been vetted as best practice on our website. So kudos to the Shape America staff around the virtual resources given the crisis. So just had to mention that as well.
Yeah, we know they're working extremely hard, and we want to say thank you on behalf of all physical educators for doing that. Yeah,
100%. So now some serious stuff out of the way. Now we got to have kind of a fun question, because that's how our show goes. But in how this has taken over people's lives, right? Like all this education at home, and how parents now have been kind of just thrust into not only maybe having to go to work still, some of them, but also educate their students at home. We would like to know, if you had, this is for both of you now, if you had a middle school or a high school student at home, how would you do as a homeschool teacher?
Jamie?
Well, it's not a hypothetical question for me. So I do have 3 kids at home. So my children are 18, getting ready to be 18. He'll have a birthday coming up in 2 days, Tanner. So he'll turn 18 on Friday. And so my daughter's 14, and my youngest son is 12. So I have a high schooler, a middle schooler, and an elementary schooler at home. So, but they're pretty self-sufficient. Kentucky's pretty lucky that we kind of hit the ground running here with our non-traditional instruction and what that looked like. And man, it's a whole nother world. I'm sitting in front of this virtual background for Salt Lake City, and my theme was redefine our community. I tell people all the time, I didn't see this thing coming. Like, this is not what I meant when I said redefine our community.
Right.
How would you do it, Judy? How would you be?
So I tell you, I think that I'd have to see it as, and I still do see it as, a major opportunity. If I had children here at home and I was the teacher that was teaching them at home, I would think that it's a major opportunity to tap into the things that we don't normally tap into around our basic and shared humanity, right? The ability to take care of our mental health, to spend time with each other, to be able to do fun activities with each other and reconnect with things like nature, which is a very big part of what's happening now. And I can't believe, although it's a very stressful time around trying to create the plane while we're flying it around virtual learning and health and PE, it's also a great opportunity for teachers to grow and learn, and to take a deep breath together and say, look, we are going to rally around this on behalf of every child that we are the parent of and every student that we teach, and say, we're going to make this work and we're going to do the very best we can to advocate for what it is we do. So if I did have children here, it would be a lot of that. It would be a lot of connection, a lot of taking care of the mental health pieces. And I'd approach it from, like I approach all things, making sure that we see it 360 and take care of each other from the inside out.
And
Yeah, Jason, Tanner, let me go on the record here and say, as a homeschool parent, I want to be very clear. Recess is never withheld as punishment at the school, and daily PE every day. So the things that all schools should be doing. So,
it's funny you said that, because some people asked me how the first week was going when this whole thing started. And I said, well, the first week's been pretty simple because no students have actually been admitted into the school because they're both suspended for fighting. The first week was rough, but we're kind of getting into a routine now, and it's definitely stressful. There's definitely some anxiety and stress related with this entire thing, but kind of like you said, Judy, we don't have much of a choice, right? And so we're going to do the best that we can, and we're there to help everybody that we need to, and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes has been that the future leaders of America are being homeschooled by day drinkers.
Yeah, I've saw that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Speaking
of day drinkers,
I'll say on a more serious note, for as a parent, it really does point out the messed up priorities in our educational system, right? So every day I'm watching our governor talk about decision making and public health practices and goal setting and things to improve your mental health and physical health. But then I sit down at the table to work with my kids on their homework, and it's around math and science. And now, not to minimize those things, but how little health and PE our kids get versus how critically important it is right now. But that's also true of the world we came from. It was equally that important, but in the face of a global pandemic, even more important. And I think that's the reason all of us do the work that we do. So hopefully on the other side of this, then we will see some new shift in thinking, priorities, and how to assess kids.
Yeah, I think so much is going to change. Absolutely.
And no standardized test, right? Kids got to love that. First time in 2 decades. No standardized test.
Well, we're still doing them at my house. No. Jamie, so I have 9 tattoos. And for 15 years, I wanted to get a PE-related tattoo, but I just haven't come up with the right idea, something I can live with forever. And although it's been discussed many times, can you tell us why you got those Health Moves Mind tattoos and why you believe in it so much?
Yeah, it's really simple answer. Judy could sing, Judy could dance, and I couldn't do either one of those, so I had to do something to find my space as president. So I was like, why not a tattoo, right?
And he did it. He did it.
And it's kind of like, every time I think about that, I'm a huge Office fan, and I don't know if you guys know that, but the Nard dog ends up getting a tattoo on his bum because he got everybody motivated to double their sales. So it's kind of like, you were between that rock and a hard place of, I want to get a tattoo, but I don't know, but yeah, no, great job. It was funny to watch how that whole storyline went. I'd like to touch on Tanner's tattoo for PE related. I don't know why we haven't just done it yet, but I think you should get Let's Talk Phys Ed logo, right? Because then not only do you have a huge part of you, PE related, but then my face is tattooed on Tanner. Right?
That's commitment.
The problem is it's kind of weird to tattoo your own face on your own body.
I don't think so. I think it would be
Teach their own. Teach their own.
Maybe we should set up maybe we should get people hooked on the idea that Tanner's going to get a Let's Talk Phys Ed logo tattoo. We got to come up with some sort of way to make sure that he does that. Like if 1,000 people watch this episode, Tanner has to get it.
There you go.
I'm just throwing it out there.
And that was part of it, Tanner.
Right now.
That was
Look at his face.
That was having some criteria. Yeah. So think about this show. And that was the Health Moves Minds thing. It started just like this. Judy, Stephanie, and I were having a text conversation after a board meeting, And I said, and really we were listening to the stories from some of the pilot schools around Health Moves Minds and just talking about the thoughtfulness, the mindfulness, the kindness, the way it was elevating PE teachers around the country and to their administrators. And so as we were talking about these things, I just kind of threw it out in a text message and said, hey, I think this is such a difference maker. This is going to be my first tattoo. And then the next thing, we developed the criteria for the first state to sign up 160 schools. And it went from there. So I think you don't need to think through this right now, Tanner. What Jason said 1,000 is 1,000 viewers on this episode. How many viewers do you need in this episode before you get the tattoo?
If we had 1,000 viewers, that'd be crazy. At least on YouTube, the way they count them.
Is that tattoo worthy? That's what we want to know.
I will sit and literally watch the episode time and time. I will put it on loop to make sure it gets to 1,000.
See, I've been on this show before, so now I know how to flip the script, Tanner. See how this works? This usually happens to me.
It does. I think it's time to push Jamie off and make Jason ask some questions.
Well, in all seriousness, though, this could be for either of you or both of you, but how is Shape America promoting National Physical Education and Sport Week with all of the schools closed?
So I'll start. This is the premier week of health and physical education, right? And one of the first things they're doing is pumping out content like crazy. They pumped out content just a day ago or a few days ago in honor of National PE and Sport Week. And we're also going to be announcing the Teachers of the Year next week during National PE and Sport Week. You see Stephanie on Twitter right now speaking to our 2019 inductees as they roll off. And next week is the big week for finding out who the next class of toys are going to be. So it's going to be a really epic week and looking really forward to it. And Jamie, I ask you to add anything you'd like to add.
Yeah, no, we're really excited. The National Sport PE Week is always a big week, and got lots of things coming from throughout the community next week. And so we started a new hashtag Shape Teach On, which really kind of labels our current reality, right? And just, hey, the perseverance, the resiliency it takes in the face of all the challenges and barriers that we had that we never saw coming. And so just keeping that focus. And then also, as Judy alluded to earlier, all the HPE at home resources, and we've amped those up as far as, opportunities for student challenges, early childhood activities, field day packets, self-care, virtual race. So lots of things to check out on the website and finding what works for teachers throughout the week. In addition to, and that I'm really excited about the National Toys because, traditionally that's always an awards dinner at National Convention on the last night. And so this really is a way for the world to watch. And so they're going to be recorded earlier in the day with all the district toys and the announcement. And then as soon as that announcement is made to that group, then it's going to be uploaded and shared out with the world. So it will be a pretty neat opportunity, that a way to promote those amazing teachers and work that they're doing in a way that we've not done before. So there are some upsides to this COVID-19, that we were forced to do things in new ways, and sometimes it reaches a bigger audience as a result.
And then on Tuesday, May 5th, on Teacher Appreciation Day, which I love that comes in the heart of our week, we're going to be lifting up tons of health and physical educators for the work that they do every day. And we'll be reaching out as leaders to do that personally, one-on-one with tons of other folks that have been promoting lessons in Health Moves Minds and just being rock stars across our community. So that's Tuesday, May 5th, Teacher Appreciation Day.
I'm glad you brought that up. I think I remember in the past, I don't know if Shape sent out notes or if it was emails or something, but at one point, maybe a year or two back, I remember receiving something from Shape around this time and thinking, wow, they have this, this giant pool of people to thank, and they reached out to me, and nobody knew me, and it was just like, wow. So I appreciate that, and I think the people who are going to be thanked from you and from Shape leadership they're going to feel good about it. It's going to make their day for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. So Jason talked a little bit about how HPE Solutions was sponsoring us this year. We want to say thank you again for that. And he stole my thunder on pulling that off. But I do want to say you confused me a little bit because I wasn't keeping up on social media probably as good as I could have been. This week I saw you use this hashtag Shape SVS Hunt. And then you mentioned that you were participating in it and you were hiking or something, and you wanted to make some kites or something out of underwear. Can you tell us what's going on about that? Because I totally
By
missed
the way,
the
this is
book.
the second episode in a row where we've talked about underwear. I don't know if
That's
that's
right.
like the,
Me, this is the first time I've talked about underwear.
the new theme, but
So we're doing this Goose Chase, this app called Goose Chase. Thanks, Will Navis, for introducing us to this challenge, which is a fun challenge between the states and each of the districts of Shape America. And each of the 5 districts in Shape America have all the states underneath them, and they're all listed. And you sign up a team of 5, and I'm leading a team in New Jersey right now, and the challenge lasts a week. And it's called Goose Chase. It's an app, and it really could have potential for kids around a lot of different challenges. But it's basically a scavenger hunt worth some points, and your teammates have to accumulate points, and the state team with the most points goes on to the next level. To compete against other districts and then to compete against Shape leadership. And some of the challenges have been hilarious. Some are fun, like try a new veggie, try a new fruit, find a wild animal in the woods, go for a hike, show us your best dance moves. But then one of them was fly a kite. And I don't own a kite. So I thought, what could I make a kite out of? So I thought, how about boxer shorts? Didn't work.
Yes.
I ended up putting a helium balloon in a paper bag and throwing it in the air and just going like this. So that was a tough one. But I'm so obsessed with the scavenger hunt. It's so much fun. And one of the activities is a Twitter chat. And in April, you have to do a Twitter chat in April. So I decided to enjoy and have the New Jersey and New York teams come together. And I'm hosting a Twitter chat tonight, the 29th of April at 8 o'clock, hashtag Spirit of the Game. So everybody can get their points when it comes to having a Twitter chat in April. And we're just going to talk about this Goose Chase EDU. The Twitter handle is Goose Chase EDU, about the implications that this could have around some health and physical education activities for students. So, yep, it's been a blast. It's so much fun.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that Will had set that up, because I saw some of that stuff. I clicked on the link, and I believe Team Iowa was full, and I was like, well, that's cool. And then I kind of forgot about it. So I'm glad that you kind of gave us a rundown of what else was happening, because it looked like it was a neat idea, and I didn't realize that's what it was.
I didn't realize how competitive I was. As soon as I signed up and the game opened, I lost my mind. I'm like, I got to find a penny with $19.99 on it. I got to go find a street sign with my name on it. I got to go fly a kite. I got to go find a squirrel. I went nuts. I didn't even recognize myself.
Is there a video of this boxer shorts flying on an end of a string? Or
There is not. It was a failed attempt.
All right, so anybody who's watching this show, if you can get a video or a photo of you flying boxer shorts in the air above you, then we'll count that as 2 views.
And Tanner will get a tattoo.
1,000 total.
oh, he's getting that tattoo. Trust me. That the way that this is going to be pushed out, it will be pushed out to everyone and retweeted multiple times. He's getting it. So we're having some fun now. Now we haven't done this in a while on the show, but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of put you two against each other, and we're going to give you a few questions. And what we want you to do is answer either yourself. So you're going to either say Judy or Jamie, or you're going to say the other person. So Jamie, if you think this is Judy, you're going to say Judy. Judy, if you think it's Jamie, you're going to say Jamie. And we're going to see who's got some dirt on each other, maybe, or we're going to get to know you two just a little bit more. You guys ready?
No.
All right, here we go.
James.
Who is most likely to do weird things in public?
Judy.
That's what I would have said.
I already have like a gajillion things.
The hot dog store in Chicago comes to mind, Judy.
Oh my God.
We're
I
gonna
stood up in the middle of a restaurant and sang with the radio.
Okay.
Epic.
Who is most likely to have a strange phobia?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I don't like snakes.
You
And you had one in your house. Freaked me out.
I don't think that's a strange phobia. That's a real thing. I totally.
All right, nobody's got strange phobias.
No, nobody's got strange phobias.
Like Tiger King, I'm scared of him.
I think I know the answer to this, but who's most likely to talk to wild animals?
That would be me.
Jamie.
Really? I was totally going the other way. Like you're talking about this scavenger hunt. I got to go find a squirrel or something.
Well, I did talk to the squirrel. That's true.
Yeah.
I did see video of Jamie talking to his dog, trying to get it to go chase some geese. So.
Oh yeah. If you've not seen Judy's video she did with Mo Shape, she did an excellent job on a rendition of mountain music, and my whole Facebook life comes to life in a country song that includes a goose chase and snakes, and kudos to Mo Shape and Judy for that. It was pretty cool.
You're welcome.
Okay. Who is most likely to not shower for a week during a shelter-in-place order?
Who told you?
Her mic's not working now, right?
Right. Yeah. All of a sudden, like, nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be Judy. I haven't changed my hygiene practices at all.
Okay.
Good for you.
Who's most likely to win on the reality show Survivor?
Jamie.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Judy's all Jersey. Yeah.
No way. Amy, you were.
If it's an urban setting, Judy'd do it. But
Amy, you brought her pet snake to the meetings, her therapy snake. I freaked out every time she brought that damn thing.
Every time I get on with an ND shape meeting, she's got this snake curling around on her shoulders and stuff. And I'm like, okay, you have to put it away so that we can talk about the budget right now. I can't talk about this.
My neighbor's got like a pet lizard or something. Like, what's happening? I don't understand. I'm from New Jersey. There's none of that. We don't have none of that. There's no pets except for dogs and cats. That's it.
Okay, we'll do one more here because we're getting low on time, kind of. But let's see. A funny one. Who is most likely to talk through the floor vents or text or call significant others rather than walking downstairs or upstairs to talk to them?
No, I don't think that's either of us.
No?
I mean, I guess it would have to be me since I talked to my snake through the floor vent. See, that ties both questions in together. So I had a snake in my vent recently, so I guess that'd be me.
See, I don't know. I don't think that that's a weird thing. Like, I text my wife all the time. If I'm down in the basement, she's upstairs. I'll text her all the time.
Yeah, well, it's Jersey. I just yell. Yo, give me a glass of water.
I remember as a kid sticking my face on the floor, talking into the bathroom, and trying to hope that one of my brothers and sisters could hear it.
We've gotten a little bit lazy around here too, because the kids both now have echo dots in their room, and then we have one in our room. So instead of just going and telling my son to do something or my daughter to do something, I'll just say, hey, drop in on, Grayson's room, and I'll just talk to him through there.
Oh, see, I learned something on this show because my daughter is notorious for not coming down for dinner, and she has a dot in her room, and I never thought to do that. So I guess I am the one that screams through the vent and through the floor. So now I learned an intervention. Thanks, Jason.
You got it. See, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, do you guys have any elementary school PE memories?
Yes, I do. I have a very distinct memory, believe it or not. It's a parachute. It's the parachute lesson. Nellie Bennett Elementary School, Point Pleasant. My elementary teacher's name was, the PE teacher was Mrs. Carlucci. And when we would do parachute on the front lawn of the elementary school, the flagpole was right there. And believe it or not, I remember the rope banging against the metal post. Ding, 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 every time we were out there. I'm like, what is that noise? And, I was 5, 6, 7, 8. But I remember when we did the parachute, that noise, I don't know why I remember that, but the parachute was one of my favorite things, and I associated with that noise. I don't know if that's bizarre, but that's one of my favorite memories. She is my memory, but the rest of it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember 5th grade. That was it was the tradition at my school. The rite of passage was 5th graders got to play the teachers in softball the last day of school. So your softball unit was like the last couple of weeks of school. And that was, I remember like your whole life, like watching this event that the whole school watches, and then finally being in that place where you got to be on the field and playing the teachers and stuff. So just neat to see the traditions that different schools have around, those types of activities.
Yeah, cool. So just to kind of, we're getting towards the end here, but you two have been, amazing leaders in the world of physical education and with Shape America, and we've crossed each other's paths a few times. But what we really want to know is, for the both of you, where's the most interesting place that you have traveled or been in your time of leadership?
Wow. Got to think about that one.
I'll go first. Judy and I were both very fortunate. Our paths first crossed during the PAL trainings a number of years ago, the physical activity leader trainings with Let's Move Active Schools. And so we both got to travel quite a bit with those trainings that were funded by Nike and hosted through Shape America. And so one of the things I would always do at every meeting, every group that I would train, is at the end we'd do a group picture. So I was actually, and when I'll see if I can find this once Judy goes. But I was in Alaska, and so we'd always try to get a picture or a backdrop or something, to make it a memorable picture. And so I was like, hey, what can anybody come up with for a memorable picture in Alaska? And I had this lady that raised her hand and said, hey, in the back of my truck, I have a full moose head and skull rack. We could bring that out for the picture. And I was like, you have a what in the back of your truck? What? And sure enough, her husband and daughter had been on some expedition way up north and came across a sandbar and kicked what they thought was a rock, and all of a sudden dug it out, and it was a full moose skull with antlers intact. So that was definitely, now it was cool to be in Alaska working, but that was a pretty memorable picture nonetheless. So I always like to share that one.
That's cool.
Wow.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Wow. Well, I've been a ton of different places. By far, one of the most beautiful was Hawaii. But when it comes to the most interesting, I've been to to learn about meat raffles in Minnesota and worry about moose in Maine. And for some reason, I thought you could, put a saddle on a moose and ride one, but apparently they're too big. I've been to, the mountains of Pennsylvania out west, but I'd say the most interesting for me was Oregon, when I went to Oregon Shape, and getting to know the culture there. And lots of men have flannel shirts and they all wear beards. And I went to a place named Sisters. The actual town was named Sisters. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I did karaoke in a bar in Sisters, and I probably saved the whole town because the busboy was singing all the songs. And then, just a beautiful terrain with lots of really loving, wonderful folks. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting one, Oregon Shape.
That's awesome. And I was actually there in Minnesota with you for the meat raffle. And
Hilarious.
Judy won the meat raffle.
I did. I will never forget it for the rest of my life.
Right.
What was in the meat raffle? Like pork chops? Is it like bacon?
I think she won a bunch of bacon and pork chops. She was just appalled that they had these meat raffles.
I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
I remember being part of the planning of this. Like, what you should do at the dinner is you guys should have a raffle and
it was hilarious.
Make sure Judy wins. And you've never heard somebody laugh and cry so hard.
I was excited as I had been on a game show, holding up the bacon like it was $1 million. I'm like, yeah! It was awesome.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Super cool.
There you go. Coolest number ever. So there's our Alaska PE teachers.
Someday,
very nice.
Someday I will have one. Someday.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's worth. I've seen some of like like one antler is like worth a crazy amount of money. So I'm sure that's worth a fortune having it intact with the skull and everything.
Absolutely.
I think I just discovered my phobia.
Well, we obviously we love having you on, but we're towards the end now. Thank you so much to both of you for taking time out of your day and joining us again on Let's Talk Phys Ed. This will be out tonight, and so make sure you like and retweet and view, because 1,000 views, there may or may not be, but definitely is a tattoo in Tanner's future because of it. So I might get in trouble for this one as soon as we get off. I might get some texts, and might not even be from Tanner. It might be from his wife saying
She doesn't
I
care.
got him into more trouble.
She don't care.
Like, are you serious? A tattoo? Yeah. But obviously, thank you so much for joining us. Judy, thank you for everything that you've done for our show and sponsoring our show with HPE Solutions. Jamie, thank you for all your leadership in the past.
Hey, Jason, thank you, and Tanner, on behalf of Shape America, for everything you're doing to pump content out there and doing this labor of love that you call Let's Talk Phys Ed. It's been fantastic, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Tanner, any closing words? We can't see you anymore. We just got this portrait of you now, but.
Well, the reason why that happened was I kept getting text messages, and I keep trying to flip them off my screen, and I can't see you guys either. I haven't been able to see you guys for a while, so I'm just pretending I can see you. But is it a good portrait at least?
It's okay.
Yes, it's staring right at us.
Yeah,
right.
You haven't
Is
moved.
it? All right. Well,
They didn't have much to work with, so they did what they could with what they had.
Yes.
all I can see is a bunch of text messages on my phone. So.
Well,
I can hear
again, from Let's Talk Phys Ed, thank you for joining us again, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Judy. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.